Gentlemen, and welcome to Daytona International Speedway here in Daytona Beach, Florida for NASCAR Xfinity Series racing here on the Speed Demon Racing Network. We take a look at some of the cars on the racetrack. We have a qualifying session here. Ready to get this thing rolling in just a few minutes. On track right now, this is the number 28, number 11 on the iRacing Sim. That is Trenton Johns that you're seeing right now on the racetrack, as he's rolling onto the track right now to try to put down his qualifying lap. We've also have the number 13 of Dwayne Whitby here on the racetrack as well. Guys only have 5 minutes here in this session. So get the fastest lap they can here in qualifying. Take a look at some other cars here that are loaded into the session. Here's two-time Daytona winner David Hamrick in the number 32 Kleenex Toyota rolling off the pit road here. Got some drivers slowly coming into this session and get ready to race here tonight at Daytona for the 901st all-time race here in Rebel Valley. So just a heads up for any new viewers here on the broadcast. So this is going to be a 25-lap race tonight around Daytona International Speedway. There are 0 fast repairs, 1 set of tires in the pits, and 35-point incident limit. That's what you will see out there on the track. Just continue to look around for laps being put down. Our first lap is right here with the number 5 of Alfredo Hidalgo in the Dr. Squatch Chevrolet. And see, this is going to continually change as we go into this qualifying session. Daniel Yount so far at the fastest of the leaderboard at 51.29. Almost 2/10 up the next fastest car, which would be the 28 of Trenton Johns. Here's Mason Jones in the number 2. Mason got a very special win in the 899th race all-time in Rebel Valley. He was able to get a last lap pass on Derek Skladell, get his first career win at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Running a different paint scheme compared to his win at Charlotte, but here he is on track in the number 2 C4 Energy Chevrolet. Sharon Slate is now, well, as soon as I say that, Christian Delgado has gone to the top of the charts at a 51.13. There he is right there, the number 13 Chevrolet. Chase Ingram, a driver who's very well known for his racing on the super speedways, has worked his way up to the outside of the front row at a 51.14. Sixteen drivers have posted the time so far, as we've got about 1 minute and 30 seconds left before we grid up and start this race. Boy, that was an interesting camera shot right there to see Chase Ingram has somehow managed to get stuck on the catch fence. That's very impressive feat right there by that number 01 Chevrolet. So we take a look. Here's Dalton Erb. Ran the Daytona truck race a few weeks ago, ended up second to Bo Ferguson. Number 19, I believe that's a Superman AC Delco Chevrolet. Currently 17th here on the speed charts, and he is going to be moving up to 12th as David Hamrick goes to the top of the charts at the number 32 at a 51.06. And David Hamrick might be back-to-back poles here on these drafting tracks, as we have about 20 seconds left here before we start our race. Forty-one drivers here have posted a time in qualifying. Aaron May, he has worked his way up into the 11th position. And I believe that's going to be it. Qualifying is officially ended, and David Hamrick will be starting on pole here today. All right, let's take a look at our starting grid here. We got David Hamrick on the front row alongside Christian Delgado. In row 2, we've got Chase Ingram in the number 01 and Mason Jones, number 2. Starting in row 3, we have Dwayne Whitby in the number 13 and Sharon Slade, the number 18. In row 4, it's Patrick Connell in the number 10 and Chris Neal in the 20. Row 5, we've got Stephen McCamey in the number 24 and Austin Mitchell in the 33. Anthony Ficola starts 11th, and then Aaron May will start in 12th. 13th is Virgil Perryman. Dalton Erb will be P14. And then P15 is Alfredo Hidalgo, and P16, Matthew Post. Trenton Johns will be starting 17th, and Caden Carter will be in the 18th position. Daniel Yount, 19th, and Brendan Cholthius, 20th. Keith Basham was the 21st and final driver to post a time. Take a look at the rest of the starting grid here for today's race. All right, the field is now gridded here onto pit road, and this should be an entertaining race tonight. So to give everyone a rundown here, we do have one admin here that will be overseeing everything. That'll be Aaron May in the number 10 Snap-on, the number 10 Snap-on Toyota. He'll be starting back in the 12th position here for this race. So that'll be the driver that'll be at the helm today with the buttons. As the field starts to roll their way off the pit road, and we will be green very shortly. As you saw in that turn shot, there was contact there with Aaron May going to the back of the pack and another car getting into the back of him. I have to figure out who that was. Looking at the incidents, but got more drivers locking up here under this caution. We got a massive checkup right here with Mason Jones, the number 2. He's finally catching back up here to his lead pack. And we're getting ready to go green this time by. It'll be David Hamrick in the number 32 and Christian Delgado in the 13. Lead him down here to the green flag. Little disjointed start here, as we're going to wave this off here to everyone catch back up after the stack up here on the pace lap. Will not be going green this time by. Got Frank DeAngelis here on pit road along with Joey Beck, so that'll be 2 drivers here. Like Joey Beck is not loaded in the session. Frank DeAngelis coming on to pit road now. Take a look here. Got 27 drivers, about 28 on the racetrack, and be going green next time by after that delayed start. While we're pacing around under caution, hopefully we can get things sorted out here before we go green. As soon as I say that, contact between the 64 there of Matthew Post and the 33 of Austin Mitchell. Let's go number 10. That is Aiden Harvey. I believe he's talking about Aaron May, because there are 2 number 10s here in the field. We've got Patrick Connell right starting in P7. Yeah, Daniel Dye scheme right there, the number 10, and then Aaron May at the back of the pack. Master J saying, let me cook again. Well, maybe he'll get it done. He just got his first 2 wins here in Rebel Valley in the past 2 weeks. Won them both on Rapid Tracks. One in Atlanta, the other one last week at Talladega. All right, after that disjointed start, looks like we're finally going to be able to go green here this time by. Going to be David Hamrick and Christian Delgado here on the front row, and then Chase Ingram and the number 2 Mason Jones right behind. Pace car makes the hard left turn on the pit road, and the 901st race all time is green here at Daytona. Cars here in this lead pack to open, and right now at the bottom of the advantage, it's David Hamrick out front with help from the 01 of Chase Ingram. 1 car all the way down the open, that's the 13 of Dwayne Whitby. A nice job keeping it off of the other competitors, and leading this first lap, it'll be our pole sitter, David Hamrick. Austin Mitchell in the 33, trying to go 3 wide here. That same Chevrolet, Christian Delgado. A little bit of contact there between the 33 and the 13. And Mitchell's going to get out for the 13 car. These guys continue to fan out. We've got 3 wide here going through the middle. That's Patrick Connell in the number 10. You also got Matthew Post there in the number 64, and then also right behind him, how about Zayden Cortinas, started toward the back of this pack, and here he is already in the top 10. And contact with Matthew Post. And hard to the wall they go, and that's going to be the caution. And that's going to be a big one here on lap number 2. Logan Perryman, the 42, is involved. Let's take a look who else. I believe that's the 4, Anthony Ficola. Gaunt in the 17. Sharon Slate's involved. That's Nick Larson in the number 8. Let's see some more cars here in turn number 1. That's Zayden Cortinas, who I just talked about, was working his way up toward the front, and that's going to be the end of his day. That number 4, Parker Retzloff Visual Pack Chevrolet, is done for. Well, they were aggressive early, and it came back to bite them. So we're going to have to take a look at a replay and see what happened here. Cause our first caution of the day. All right, let's take a look right here. This was running about the 8th position. The 64 is going to get loose right into the 20, and you see the 64 is going to get hurt by Dalton Erb, and you see Nicholas Larson's involved, and just a checkup back there with Nicholas Yount, the 17, Perryman, the 42. Didn't take long. We've got our first caution of the day here on lap number 2. So after all that sequence, Chase Ingram was able to get away the race lead as we got cars coming down pit road. This time by Matthew Post, the car that got turned, along with the number 20, Chris Neal, who sustained some damage in that crash as well. We've also got Stevie McKinney in the 24, Darren Slate 18. Oh, what in the world just happened there with the 17? Daniel Yount has destroyed that number 17 Ford. Let's go back and take a look at what happened there. That was really odd. I'll go ahead and back this up real quick. Boy, Aaron May in the number 10 was very fortunate not to get any damage right there, because that was really strange. All right, the lights are off here on the pace car. We're going to go green next time by as the field is going to populate here on the backstretch. Got some guys still on pit road trying to repair some damage. But we'll go over a rundown here of the top 10 real quick as we're pacing around under caution. So it's Chase Ingram out front, David Hamrick in second. We've got Austin Mitchell in third, Mason Jones in fourth. Christian Delgado rounds out our top five, and it's Patrick Connell in sixth, Hayden Carter in seventh. And then you've got Alfredo Hidalgo in 8th, Trenton Johns will be running in 9th, and Frank DeAngelis, who was on pit road on that first lap, has worked his way into the top 10 after all the chaos that happened. Got 19 cars here on the racetrack as we're getting ready to go green next time by for the restart. It'll be Chase Ingram in the 01 and David Hamrick in the 32 as we're getting ready to go green this time. And we are back underway here at Daytona. Big momentum here on the outside. Look at Austin Mitchell in the 33. Trying to get a run here on the outside. He's got some help from our pole sitter, David Hamrick. Hayden Carter in the 54 going to try to jump in line behind the number 10, Patrick Connell. Oh, a big block right there by Mitchell. That was almost disaster right there. To bring out our second caution of the day, but it's Austin Mitchell to take over the field here at Daytona. And throw another block here on the 32 of David Hamrick. A lot of weaving back and forth here between this front back as Austin Mitchell is out front. 3 wide right behind here. That is the 69. Frank DeAngelis trying to go through the middle, and he's going to get clear of Hayden Carter. $18 cars here in this lead pack. 19th is Matthew Post, and look at Chase Ingram here on the outside. Going to take a peek in front of the 33 of Austin Mitchell. Frank DeAngelis being the aggressor here, that number 69. He's going to go 3 wide here through the middle. Going to try to split Patrick Connell here in the number 10 and work with the 32 David Hamrick. Field works their way into the entrance of turn number 1. Looks like, oh, very close call there with the 69 and the 10, as they're still 3 wide right behind for 7th place. Trenton Johns in the 28 trying to lean on that driver's side door, the number 69 of David Hamrick. See the shove there, season 69 of Frank DeAngelis. Right now it's still Austin Mitchell out front, controlling that bottom line with help from Christian Delgado. At the stripe, it'll be 18 laps of racing to go. Now here comes Delgado here on the outside. They're going to leave the 01 of Chase Ingram out to drive. So he picks him up here as the field works their way into turn 1. One's coming out of that number 01 cars. It looks like Patrick Connell's in 10 is going to stay with him. Nope, he's going to go down to the middle and leave the 01 out to drive for even further. Wide and Rosa 3 right behind. These guys trying to get this settled out for now. Got the 01 of Chase Ingram still in the fence. Hold on here for it for now, but Austin Mitchell retains the lead. Got a pair of RCR Chevrolets trying to work together here. It's 3 wide again. That's Hayden Carter, the 54. Oh, we got contact here with Delgado in the 13. Unbelievable save there by Christian Delgado. I thought that was going to be the big one right in front of the pack, but they kept it all together. You can tell the These guys are racing pretty more aggressively now as we're approaching 16 laps of racing to go. We'll have 18 cars in this lead pack all the way back to Julian Nels in the 88. As these guys continue to sort this out, Christian Delgado and Austin Mitchell having a dogfight here for the lead. They are side by side. Sopranos Toyota, Frank D'Angelo still working with the 13 and Christian Delgado. We'll see if they, 69 can push the 13 to the front, but they're still neck and neck here. Field partners backstretch. One car going through the grass, that's Patrick Cornell. Let's see if he gets a safe rejoin back on the racetrack, and it looks like he will, but he is going to lose this lead pack. So, unfortunate break there for number 10 of Patrick Cornell. We'll see if he can get a caution to get back in this thing. That is Mason Jones in number 2 that's way out of line. He's going to make contact there. And we got a crash. That's Perriman in the 42 and Trenton Johns in the 28. And there's the caution. Big break there for Patrick Cornell as we have our second caution of the day here with 15 laps to go. This is the second time Logan Perriman's been involved in the wreck, and he's going to bring it to pit road. And then we also have Trenton Johns here in the number 28 Monster Energy Toyota. So a 2-car crash, and we are under caution here for the second time tonight. All right, there was a lot that went on right there before that caution came out, so we'll have to go over and take a look at a replay and see what happened. Apologize for the long delay there. I was looking for the incident on the screen. So let's take a look what happened here to number 28 of Trenton Johns. Here he is right here in the Monster Energy Toyota. Switch over here to TV2, and let's take a look what happened. It looks like Mason Jones just came up the racetrack and right into the 28, and nowhere for Logan Perriman to go. And that's going to be big damage here on the 42, and you saw why he towed it on the pit road. We've got 3 drivers here on pit road. Actually, excuse me, 2 drivers here on pit road at the moment. It's a good time for anybody here that's a lap down to get their lap back on the outside. We're pacing around here under caution. There's 13 laps to go here in this race. Sharon Slay, Aaron May, Matthew Post, or Brian, aka Brian Post, here on pit road. We also have Charlie White here in the 17. All right, Jonesy here is in the chat. He said Frank pushed me off the racetrack, and yes, so definitely something I'll have to take a look at for sure. But a big break for Patrick Cornell, who was in that number 10. Got shoved off the racetrack, and he's right back in the game here, running in the 11th position. All right, so the admin, Aaron May, has declared this will be a 1 to go here for this restart, so we'll go over the running order here before we go back and bring 12 laps to go. So it's going to be Christian Delgado out front, number 13, with Frank D'Angelis running in second. Austin Mitchell third. Caden Carter fourth. And then Kerry Passoto, we've not talked about him at all. He's running in the sixth position with Chris Neal rounding out our top five. And you got Chase Ingram in seventh. David Hamrick in eighth. We have Liam Nolan, first time we've called his name tonight, running in ninth. And then Julian Nails will round out our top 10. All right, the pace car makes the hard left turn onto pit road. It's going to be Christian Delgado in the number 13, leading them down to the green, and we are back underway here at Daytona. Frank DeAngelis trying to start that outside line. He's blinking in and out. That's going to be a concern for the drivers here on that outside line, but it's going to be neck and neck over turn number 4. Christian Delgado is going to surge ahead here with help from the 33 of Austin Mitchell. As at the stripe, it'll be 11 laps of racing to go here from Daytona. One car all the way up in that third line. That's the 22 of Kerry Passoto. He's going to fall all the way back here to the 10th position and maybe to 11th or 12th here. Austin Mitchell is going to work his way to the outside here. The 13 of Christian Delgado. Frank DeAngelis is going to be behind him. We'll see what we're going to get. That 69 is going to be a big concern as he is still blinking out very heavily in that number 69 Toyota. Bottom line with the advantage right now, it's going to be 10 laps to go here for Christian Delgado. And I talked about under the caution, Chris Neal, who's working his way back in the top 5. He was involved in that first caution with Zayden Cortinez, and here he is on the inside here at that second row, running in third. One car way off the racetrack. I think that's the number 64 of Matthew Post, but business as usual here up front. Chance here at the win here at the World Center of Racing. All the way back to Aaron May, who's running in 15. Austin Mitchell here. He's still going to continue to get some help from Frank DeAngelis. Now he works his way down to the bottom. We'll see if that outside line can generate another run here. Work their way back up toward the front, but it's going to be Austin Mitchell leading this thing, and that number 33. Austin Mitchell has won at Daytona 4 times in the series. This is a driver that knows how to get it done here on these gravel tracks. Can he get win number 5 here in his Rebel Valley career at Daytona? At the stripe, it'll be 8 laps of racing to go. Outside line work, but who is going to be the first driver to go up there and at least try to gain some momentum? Will it be Delgado in the 13? Here we go to the outside. Now Caden Carter thought about going to the outside, but thought better of it. He's going to stay in line behind the 69 of Frank DeAngelis. 33 of Austin Mitchell is going to stay out front here. Delgado get enough for surge from the 69 to work his way to the lead. Most of the field right now staying on that bottom line, but here comes Chris Neal on the 20. He's going to go to the outside. Big move there by the 20 of Chris Neal, and he might take over the race lead. He's able to break up that tandem of Delgado and DeAngelis, but can he hold on to it? 3 wide behind 2 with Mason Jones, Kerry Pursuit, and Alfredo Hidalgo. As those guys battle for their 11th position, it's still a dead heat up front here between Neal and Austin Mitchell. And now they're going to lead the number 20 of Chris Neal in the sucker hole in the middle. As here, he might fall back here to about the 6th position. He's going to stay in that middle line to give a 20 enough of a surge. He can get clear, and yes, he will. Patrick Connell there in the number 10. And then another driver we've not talked about at all today. Take a look here as these guys just racing very aggressively here. Oh, and around goes Connell. It's going to get into Chris Neal, and that's going to be a big one involving Christian Delgado, Caden Carter. And there's the caution. Aaron May's involved as well, the number 10. We've also got Liam Nolan in the 1. There's our 3rd caution of the day with 6 laps to go. Aaron May coming on the pit road here. There's Liam Nolan in the 1. Chris Neal with substantial damage, and there's our 3rd caution of the day. All right, let's go back and take a look what happened there to bring out our 3rd caution of the day. All right, there's the wreck right there, a screenshot of the wreck. Let's take a look what happened. We're going to have to go up kind of close here. Pause it right here. Let's keep our eye here on the number 10 of Patrick Connell. Here he is right there. We're going to zoom in. Let's take a look what happened. I'd have had some help there from the number 20 of Chris Neal, and it was just on from there. Well, one car went up off the ground a little bit. I think that was David Hamrick in the 32. Back and watch this one more time and go ahead and back this up for y'all. Yeah, it's just an accordion effect after that. I mean, you see all these guys just rolling into the wreck. There's Liam Nolan, Mason Jones, Patrick Connell as well, and all it takes. We are now going to be pacing around under caution here with 4 laps to go. Caden Carter is rolling back onto the racetrack here from the 8th position. You see Delgado's in the pits along with David Hamrick, Frank DeAngelis also on pit road. There's Liam Nolan. Aaron May coming back onto the racetrack as well, the number 10. You're pacing around under caution here. You're currently on lap number 17, and that wreck here on the backstretch took out a lot of cars. I mean, just take a look at this single shot alone. There's only 7 cars here on track. Right now behind the pace cars, we see Caden Carter's going to join this. That'll make it 8. David Hamrick and Christian Delgado and Frank DeAngelis are on pit road. May coming back on the racetrack as well. Going to get one of his laps back here. All right, while we pace around under caution here, we'll see once the 1 to go signal is raised here by our admin, Aaron May. Let's go over and read some of his comments. And Aaron May said, hey, we have to have at least 1 fast repair for speedways. Well, definitely under consideration, but I want to try to clean up some of the driving here. 0 fast repairs. just really never know with these super speedways. They're so chaotic. All right. So the lights are off on the pace car, and it's going to be 1 to green this time by. After the big one that just happened here to bring out our third caution of the day, it's going to be Austin Mitchell out front with Chase Ingram right beside him in second place. We got Julian Nels, who's been on a hot streak as of late, trying to get career win number 3 here in Rebel Valley, running in third. We got Alfredo Hidalgo going for his first career win in fourth, and Mason Jones, last week's winner at Charlotte, running out our top 5. And Sharon Slade in 6th, Caden Carter in 7th. I have not talked about Keith Basham tonight in the WeatherTech Chevrolet. He's running in the 8th position. Aaron May is going to be in 9th. Christian Delgado is going to be rounding out our top 10 here as he's going to be pointing the back of the field. We got Frank DeAngelis, David Hamrick. Kerry Pasotto's off track. And along with Liam Nolan. So as we take a look here, we only have 12 cars here running at the finish. Once we go back green with 2 to go. Two drivers who have known to win on these drafting tracks, Austin Mitchell and Chase Ingram, are the 2 here on the front row. You've got Julian Nels, who's been on a hot streak as of late, that number 88 WeatherTech Chevrolet. He's right there in third. Alfredo Hidalgo has been here for a little while now, and he's still trying to get career win number 1. And you've got Mason Jones here running in 5th. We have a repeat winner or a first-time winner about to find out in 2 laps as we are back racing here at Daytona. That was a great jump by the number 33 of Austin Mitchell on that restart, but see how long he can hang on to it. It's going to be Keith Ingram and Alfredo Hidalgo on the outside. Mitchell was a little hesitant on the block. He's going to stay on the bottom with Julian Nels in the 88. Outside line with the advantage right now, but here's Chase Ingram in the 01. Chase Ingram won the first ever broadcast here on the Speed Demon Racing Network, but look at Frank DeAngelis going to put the 18 of Sharon Slate in the wall. DeAngelis coming in like a heat-sinking missile out of nowhere, and he's going to get turned. Frank DeAngelis is going to get turned, and it's going to be the white flag this time by for Austin Mitchell. How about Aaron May out of nowhere? That number 10 has worked his way into third. Julian Nels on the outside, tried to make a move. It's not going to work. Here comes Aaron May. He's going to give a shove to the 33 of Austin Mitchell. Also behind, we have the number 5 of Alfredo Hidalgo. And Caden Carter in the 54. Here comes Aaron May on the outside, but a block there thrown by Mitchell. And around goes Aaron May. Now, can these cars behind? Nope, they are not going to generate a run. As the field's just going to die right behind, but it's going to be Austin Mitchell or Caden Carter. Who's going to get the win? And Mitchell's going to go into the wall. Heavy damage on the number 33 machine. And out of nowhere, the only man left, Mason Jones, is going to win here at Daytona. What started out with 29 cars, and he basically had 1 car at the finish. Mason Jones comes from 3rd place at the entrance of turn number 3, and he's going to steal a win here at Daytona and get career win number 2. Mason Jones wins at Daytona. I have no words. I have no words. What turned into a potential battle between Austin Mitchell and Caden Carter turns into Mason Jones absolutely stealing one at the end, and he's going to get his 2nd career win in his Rebel Valley career. And Christian Delgado not happy with the number 2 of Mason Jones as he just pile drives him here in the tri-oval. Go ahead and show Mason's burnout here at the start-finish line, but we're going to have to go through this step by step and just take a look at what happened here on this last lap, because there was so much that happened. So congratulations to Mason Jones. He's going to get career win number 2. Let's go back and take a look at what happened here on the last lap. And you see the 2 of Mason Jones actually is going to turn Frank DeAngelis here at the entrance of pit road. That's what kind of started it all. You see Mason Jones right here. I mean, look where he's running on the racetrack. But we'll go back here to the battle up front. You see we had Austin Mitchell there in the 33. Aaron May had a huge run in the number 10. Oh, it looks like he kind of came down just a little bit and got into the number 5 Alfredo Hidalgo. You see it's just, and you see the 01 and now as they get into it, that sends a bunch of cars around, and it just comes down to 3 cars between Austin Mitchell, Caden Carter, and Mason Jones. Mitchell throws a block, puts he and the 54 in the wall, and see Austin Mitchell heavily damaged on that right side, and Mason Jones is going to squeak through and get the win here at Daytona, leading his only lap of the day. It's the one lap that mattered here at Daytona. All right, let's go over our results here from today's just wacky finish overall here. So we've got Mason Jones coming away with the win, Austin Mitchell in second, Caden Carter third, Christian Delgado fourth, and then Keith Basham rounds out our top 5. And then it's David Hamrick in 6th, Julian Nels 7th, Chase Ingram 8th, Sharon Slate 9th, and Aaron May will round out our top 10 as you take a look here at the rest of the field and how they finished here tonight at Daytona. Those are the 29 drivers that entered here for the race. And we're going to go ahead and switch over to Homestead. I'll go ahead and close out this session and hope to see you guys there for race number 2 at the Homestead Miami Speedway. It'll be a 35 lap event, and we'll see you there soon. All right, hello everyone, welcome back, and the new session has loaded. We're gonna do. I do apologize for the mistake I made earlier. I said this was gonna be. I said 35 laps before I left Daytona. It's actually gonna be 40 laps here at the Homestead Miami Speedway, and we're gonna recap the night here at Homestead. As so far, we've got a couple drivers here that are loading into the session. This should be a fun one here to recap the night here. As we're going to spot a camera here on the number 64 of Matthew Post. So far, we've got Austin Mitchell, David Hamrick, Aaron May, Caden Carter, Zayden Cortinez, Matthew Post, Julian Nels, and Chase Motzlowski that are currently loading into the session. As we're roughly halfway through our practice session here from Homestead. We go ahead and make some changes here on the broadcast. Give this to load. Last race at Daytona, it was all about working in the draft and just basically trying to survive. While you're trying to survive at Homestead for sure, it's going to be a completely different animal. So we see these drivers get very loose and having to figure out how to manage their tires and try to work the correct line around this tricky Homestead Miami Speedway. Take a look at some of the drivers here in this practice session. This is Zayden Cortinez, who's running a different scheme. The number 4 Ziploc Chevrolet got involved in an early wreck that took him out of the race, but he's going to look for some revenge here in that number 4 car. Him turning some laps on the racetrack. Also got Julian Nels here, the number 88. Like a very common theme here with Homestead Miami. Right up against the fence. Welcome back, Chase Motzlowski. He's going to go to the top of the charts here at a 34.43. Well, as soon as I say that, now Zayden Cortinez is at the top, but take a look here at the 00 of Chase Motzlowski. Nice David Rudiman throwback in the Aaron's Dream Machine. He honestly looks really good on a Xfinity car. Looks better than it did on Gen 6, I must say. I'm pretty impressed with how that looks. Very sharp scheme there for the 00. You guys continue to put hot laps down here on the racetrack. Got a couple more drivers loading into the session as we're closing in on the tail end of practice. Got about 3.5 minutes remaining before we go into qualifying. Take a look at Austin Mitchell, the number 33. So close to another Daytona win, and unfortunately just made a bad block on Caden Carter and ended up ruining his race and his chances of another Daytona win. And to look for revenge here as he goes to the top of the charts at 33.21. 5 drivers have posted a time so far, so you see the number 4 going around of Zayden Cortinez. Oh, right in front of traffic into the 00 of Chase Motzlowski. Well, David Hamrick in the 32. This guy's been very good at qualifying here so far in Rebel Valley. Won back-to-back poles in the series. Got a pole at Talladega last week, and then tonight's pole sitter from Daytona. And see if he can continue that streak of starting on pole. The fastest in practice at a 33.15. He does a 4-wheel slide in turn number 4. Here's a new driver here that's joined in. That's the number 12. That is Tony Blake Brewer, the number 12 iRacing Chevrolet. Currently 5th fastest at the moment. At a 33.88. Drivers running that outside line here. That's been the groove to run here at Homestead. You guys are definitely trying to test it out here. Closing in on the final minute of this practice session. All right, unless we have a last-minute change, it looks like the number 32 Kleenex Toyota Supra of David Hamrick is going to be the fastest in practice. That's closing in on the last 5 seconds here. And that'll be it for practice here at Homestead Miami Speedway. And we're going to move on to qualifying as whatever that was. All right, time to move on to qualifying here at Homestead Miami Speedway. We've got a couple drivers trying to load in, and we have 5 minutes here to put down that fast lap. And go ahead and keep a camera here on the number 32 of David Hamrick. Can he get his 3rd consecutive pole here in Rebel Valley? Was the quickest here in that practice session, as he's the first driver we've got a camera on here as he rolls off pit road. Here he is on track. Switch over here to Austin Mitchell, the number 33. The Zone Chevrolet. Let's take a look at our dashboard real quick and just get you an idea of how these drivers run around this racetrack. You just saw 168 miles an hour all the way down to 140 in the corners, just trying to be able to make the corner here at Homestead. And that's what makes this track so interesting. Just lines you're able to run and tire wear. It really makes for an interesting track. Austin Mitchell was the fastest on the board. Now it's going to go to the number 00 Chase Modzelewski, and he's going to bend it in the fence, and 33.46 is going to be his lap. And see what Austin Mitchell here can do on this lap. And he's going to pick it up to a 33.37, and he's going to go to the top of the chart. So Austin Mitchell to the point. And that consecutive pole streak is going to come to the end here for David Hamrick, as he's going to drop down to 3rd. And how about Jared Davis in that number 4? This is a driver that used to run in Rebel Valley, and a 6,496 I rating. He's going to work his way to the top of the charts at a 33.19. Jared Davis to the top of the charts here in that number 4. Zayden Cortinez at a 33.69. So far, 7 drivers have posted a time. We'll see if Matthew Post, Frank DeAngelis, Mason Jones, and Joseph Gluckness are on the track right now, trying to put down some laps. the Yahoo Toyota. At 33.83 on his first lap. And a 34.2 on his second lap, and that'll be a 7th place start here for Mr. Gluckness. And let's take a look here at Frank DeAngelis running that bottom line. A lot of drivers struggle a little bit at the at turn 4. And a 33.51 for Frank DeAngelis, so that'll put him up into the 5th position as we have about a minute remaining here in this qualifying session. Matthew Post has already posted a time. He will be starting in 9th. And we've got one other driver here on the racetrack. That is the number 8. This is Aaron Leffel in the number 8 GM Goodwrench Chevrolet. First lap at a 34.5. Looking in and out a little bit. He will be able to complete his second lap, but we'll see where that puts him on the speed charts here before we go green at Homestead Miami. Close it in with 20 seconds remaining here in qualifying. He's going to go to a 33.65, so that'll slot him here outside of row number 3 with Frank DeAngelis. We do have 2 of the drivers, Aaron May and Caden Carter. They are not loaded into the session. Aaron May will be the eyes in the sky. He'll be our admin overseeing everything. And with that, that'll be the end of qualifying here from Homestead Miami. Jarrett Davis will be on the pole here for today's race. Wait for the starting lineup here to appear on your screen. And there it is. Jarrett Davis is on pole with Austin Mitchell starting in 2nd place. In row 2, we've got David Hamrick in the 32 and Chase Modzelewski in the 00. In row 3, we've got Frank DeAngelis in the 69 and Aaron Leffel in the number 8. In row 4, it's Zayden Cortinez in the number 4. And then starting in 8th is Tony Blake Brewer. Joseph Gluckness will be starting 9th. Matthew Post will be starting 10th. And then we've got Mason Jones in 11th. Julian Nels in 12th. Got Aaron May, Jordan Babinger, number 21. And then Caden Carter and Keith Basham. That'll be our field here today at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Let's go ahead and switch our camera view over to our pole sitter. That is the number 4 of Jared Davis, who is back here in Rebel Valley, starting on pole alongside Austin Mitchell. As we're slowly waiting for the drivers to load into the session here at Homestead Miami, we'll give everyone a rundown of what to expect. So it's going to be 40 laps tonight. Shouldn't have to worry about fuel. Tire wear is definitely going to be a concern considering how this track races. And there's one set of tires in the pits. For anyone that is a lap down, you are allowed to get your lap back on the outside of the racetrack. And those are the main rules here in Rebel Valley for our 902nd race all time in the series. All right, the field is slowly starting to work their way up to the embankment of turn number 1. And we're going to go green shortly here from Homestead. We have 13 drivers here in our final race of the night here at Homestead Miami. We've got a pair of Chevrolets leading them down as we're getting ready to go green for the final time tonight. And we are green here from Homestead. One car already spun. That's the 64 of Matthew Post as these guys work the backstretch. Jared Davis with a comfortable advantage out front here on lap number 1 as the battle is raging on here for 4th place. We've got Zayden Cortines in the 4, Aaron Leffel in the number 8, and then 3 wide right behind with Frank DeAngelis, David Hamrick, and the number 12 of Tony Blake Brewer. But at the stripe, it's going to be Jared Davis leading lap 1. Austin Mitchell's going to drive it all the way up into the fence, but somehow keeps his momentum. He's going to be side by side. He's going to get clear of the number 4, Jared Davis. Power move there by the 33 of Austin Mitchell early, but we'll see if he can hang on to it if this race goes green. Jared Davis keeping that car pinned right up against the apron as here's Chase Modzalewski in the 0-0 on the outside. Modzalewski also trying to work that high line, trying to get clear of number 4, Jared Davis. Modzalewski's going to get clear for now, and now we've got Zayden Cortines, the battle of the 4s here with the Alpha Prime Racing number 4, and then the normal number 4 of Jared Davis. And it looks like Zayden Cortines is going to get clear, move him in 3rd place. Austin Mitchell at about a 0.2 of a second lead right now over the number 00 of Chase Modzalewski. Start on the outside of the front row and see what kind of gap he can pull here on lap number 4. Modzalewski took a peek to the inside, but the 33 of Austin Mitchell is going to chop off his nose and keep the race lead. Take a look right behind. We got a battle for 4th. We've got Frank DeAngelis on the 69 and the 4, Jared Davis. Interesting line being run here by the 4 of Jared Davis. He's hoping this race stays green and he'll be able to work his way toward the front. So a lot of drivers know how to save their tires. Their car pinned on the bottom. We'll see if he's going to deploy that strategy here as we get later into this race. But he has fallen back to the 5th position. Take a look at Austin Mitchell here running that bottom line. Got a battle for 3rd, and boy, close call right there with Zayden Cortines and Frank DeAngelis. And Sopranos Toyota is going to work his way into a podium spot. The sun is shining bright here on this Homestead Miami Speedway. We're seeing some solid racing action so far in these first 6 laps. Top 3 are starting to scoot away a little bit as we take a look here at Aaron Leffel in the number 8. And on the outside here of Jared Davis is Jared Davis continuing to hemorrhage spots here early in this race. David Hamrick in the 32, starting in the 3rd position, has dropped all the way back into 8th. Battling here with the number 12 of Tony Blake Brewer. Got 11 cars still in this pack, all the way back to Joseph Gluckness in the 26. Take a look at the last lap time. The David Hamrick and Frank DeAngelis both are really good speeds right now here. Lap number 8, and you see DeAngelis, fastest car on the racetrack, one of the only drivers to run into the 33-second bracket, so he's definitely putting down some quick laps there. Here he is to the outside of the number 00, Chase Modzalewski, and that's going to be an easy pass right there for Frank DeAngelis, so move up Frank DeAngelis into 2nd. Up 3 spots from the start. We'll see if you can get clear of Austin Mitchell as they're about to approach lap number 9 this time by. Tony Blake Brewer has crashed in the number 12. As just noticed him off the pace. Look at our battle box here in the bottom right corner of the screen, and a lot of good battles right now here up front. We've got Austin Mitchell at 33 and then 69 of Frank DeAngelis, since they are going to be pretty close together here going into turn number 4. Now everyone running that bottom line, trying to save their tires and have their car work the best here on this long green flag run, if we ever get there. Now DeAngelis trying to roll the top. See what look at the momentum he's going to carry here just from this camera view. This is not going to be a move that Austin Mitchell can block. And Frank DeAngelis from 5th to 1st in 10 laps. He's going to take over the race lead here at Homestead. Now he's going to shoot his way down to the bottom as you see Austin Mitchell trying to run that high line. We've got Cortinez in the 4 and then Jared Davis. This is the driver we're kind of keeping our eye on here. Running the bottom the whole time to see if that strategy is going to pay off for him. But take a look, Frank DeAngelis is still the fastest car on the racetrack, but the second fastest, the 4 of Jared Davis. They are side by side here for that 4th position. You got Aaron Leffel chilling in 6th, David Hamrick 7th, Mason Jones 8th, Julian Nels, and Joseph Gluckness. We only have 10 cars here on the racetrack. Push back to our gaps to show you everything going on at the moment, but it's going to be Frank DeAngelis leading as they approach lap number 12. Just like Aaron May said in the YouTube comments, so far they're actually playing nice. Hopefully this is not a commentator's jinx and we can have a good green flag run here to recap the night. Take a look at this battle for the lead. Austin Mitchell is not going away for the number 69 of Frank DeAngelis. Take a look at our starter cam here. Let's take a look at our last lap times as far as going over the fence. So far, the fastest car on the racetrack is that number 4 of Jared Davis. Goes in a little bit on our leaders, but yeah, this top 5 is doing a really good job at the moment as we got a battle for second. Chase Mazzalewski's going to shoot it down to the bottom in front of the 33 of Austin Mitchell. And a nice pass by the Aaron's Dream Machine to work his way into second place. Look at the wide variety of lines here being run by these drivers. You got DeAngelis on the bottom. Chase Mazzalewski running that middle groove, and you got Austin Mitchell as well. There's Jared Davis and Zayden Cortinez. All these guys in relatively close distance right now. Take a look at our leaderboard. The top 5 only separated by about 1.2 seconds, so very competitive battle here between these first 5 cars. And it's another second back to the number 8 of Aaron Leffel. A battle for 7th here with Mason Jones and David Hamrick. Daytona winner Mason Jones going to go into the wall, and the 32 is going to slide. He's going to go through the infield grass. And it looks like he's going to be off the racetrack for now. I do not see a caution being thrown, so we're going to keep this green. He is out of harm's way at the moment, but we're going to continue to focus on this battle for the lead because Chase Mazzalewski is closing in a little bit here as we take a look at the leaderboard that last time by. This top 4 is so close together right now. It could be anybody's race as we're closing in. 25 laps to go here from Homestead. DeAngelis on the bottom, Mazzalewski, and then you've got up in that upper groove, but you got Austin Mitchell. Austin Mitchell and Jared Davis are the 2 fastest cars on the racetrack that last time by. See Mitchell with a huge run here on the outside. We'll see if he can make a move here on Chase Mazzalewski. Going to work his way down to the bottom of the racetrack, and they're going to fight for second place. Oh, Mazzalewski sideways in that double zero. He's going to hang on to it right in front of the 4 of Jared Davis. Incredible job there by that double zero to keep control of that car. You guys continue to battle. It's Frank DeAngelis out front, but Austin Mitchell starting to make some groove up there in that outside line. Go back here, we got a battle for 6th place. We got Mason Jones. He's going to get clear of Aaron Leffel, so move the number 2 machine up to 6th. As Chase Mods Loose is going to put it in the wall, and he's going to lose 3rd to Jared Davis. Got Hayden Cortinez right there, who's also going to go in the wall. Tire wear is definitely playing a factor here with these cars, as got this great battle for the lead as Austin Mitchell is right on the doorstep of that 69 of Frank DeAngelis. But look at Jared Davis in the 4. Run all the way against that bottom line, and he is going to lose a little bit here on corner exit. We'll take a look at last time by. Austin Mitchell, the fastest car on the racetrack, and here he goes for the lead. That outside line with going to have more momentum here with Frank DeAngelis. Unless Austin Mitchell is going to get clear, they're going to be side by side here on the backstretch. And Austin Mitchell is going to take over the race lead here in this 33 car. Now Frank DeAngelis under fire here for the number 4, Jared Davis, our pole sitter here from tonight's race. Now Mitchell's going to put it in the wall. He's going to lose a little bit of time here, as here comes the number 4 of Jared Davis on the bottom. DeAngelis is going to get a run here on the outside, and that's going to leave the number 4 out to dry here on the bottom. Great battle up front here with this top 3, as Austin Mitchell still up front here with 19 laps to go. Now Frank DeAngelis trying to go for a move as Austin Mitchell is just tearing down that turn 1 wall. DeAngelis sideways here, going into turn number 2. He's going to hang on to that car, but great save by the 69, by the number 69. Davis on the bottom, Austin Mitchell up on the outside. Mitchell's going to block off that advance, but for how long can he hold off this number 4? Here's Jared Davis trying to peek his nose here on the inside of Austin Mitchell. But Austin Mitchell is content with running that outside, just like Jared Davis is content to run on the bottom. Look at the car sideways there. That was Zayden Cortinez in the number 4. Frank DeAngelis has posted the fastest lap of the guys currently running in this top 5. Austin Mitchell still out front. He was our outside pole sitter, and our pole sitter right behind him with Jared Davis. Now, the top 5 all running that bottom line. Austin Mitchell sideways there at the exit of the corner. He's going to hold on to it, and we have 16 laps to go here from Homestead. Austin Mitchell's going to put it in the fence, and that's going to get Jared Davis clear. He's going to slide in front of the 33. Yes, he will. We have a new leader, and it's Jared Davis, but here comes Austin Mitchell. Outside line turn 1 has been a big advantage. Being able to get a run off the corner, and these two are side by side. They're about to approach turn 4. It'll be 15 laps to go. Jared Davis going to get clear, and Jared Davis is back out front here at Homestead. Frank DeAngelis in the wall. Here comes Zayden Cortinez in the number 4. He's going to get to the inside. Oh, in contact with DeAngelis. Oh, man, that was very close to a possible... Oh, this is not going to be good. And there it is. There's contact with the 69 of Frank DeAngelis. They're going to keep it together for now, but focus after this battle up front here with Jared Davis and Austin Mitchell. Austin Mitchell's going to put it in the fence once again. Been loving that turn one wall. Just take a look at the momentum he's going to gain here, all the way back down to about 0.2 of a second. We got a crash here. We're going to take a look to see what happened. We've got the 32 of David Hamrick and the 2 of Mason Jones have just crashed here on the backstretch. No caution for that, as we saw that replay, but guys continue to race with 13 laps to go. Austin Mitchell in the fence once again, that 33, and he's going to put it in the wall. I think he knows this race is done. There are 0 fast repairs as well, so it looks like he's just going to call it quits here going into turn number 1. And with that, Jared Davis is out to about a 3-second lead over Zayden Cortines. Unless we got a caution, I think he's got this one in the bag. Cortines in second. We got Mazelewski, who's going to drive it also up into the wall in turn number 1. Aaron Leffel fourth. We got Julian Nails fifth. Joseph Gluckness in sixth. Mason Jones seventh. He's coming down pit road now to repair that damage. DeAngelis, Austin Mitchell is done for. That'll be our field as we have 10 laps of racing to go. These 6 cars are pretty spread out at the moment. Take a look. It's about a 3.5 second gap here between Jared Davis and Zayden Cortines. Chase Mazelewski still trying to run that bottom line. Well, trying to run that bottom line in turn 3. Aaron Leffel there in fourth. Julian Nails back in fifth. And Frank DeAngelis on those fresh tires. Well, so there's the number 4, Jared Davis. About to approach the wounded number 2 of Mason Jones. And move Jared Davis up into past the number 2 of Mason Jones. So we have 7 cars here that are pretty much in contention. Mason Jones here's got that damage, and then Frank DeAngelis is currently a lap down. He is on those fresh tires, and I don't like... Yep, this is going to be an intent wreck. Well, I thought it was going to be an intent wreck, but I'll definitely have to keep a camera here on this just to make sure. And there's the caution. Caution is out on the racetrack. That'll be our first caution of the day. And that's going to involve the 69 of Frank DeAngelis and the number 4 of Zayden Cortines. Well, they played nice for 34 laps, and now I think the gloves are about to come off as we're under our first caution of the day. All right, as the field's going to catch the pace car here on the backstretch. They're under caution here for our first time today on lap number 34. That's when the caution came out. And a good opportunity for the 6 drivers here that are currently on the lead lap to come down pit road and use their only set of tires that they have in the pits. Now, Frank DeAngelis came down pit road and used his, but we'll see what kind of damage he has. Here we go. So the 6 cars on the lead lap are coming down pit road this time. Positive all these guys will probably take tires here, but you never know. So we'll go ahead and switch over to the pit lane camera, and we'll see what happens here and who wins the race off pit road. It's going to be Jared Davis, followed by Zayden Cortines, Joseph Gluckness, Julian Nels, and Aaron Leffel. Chase Mazelewski also on pit road here to repair some of the damage after hitting the wall. Yeah, this 60, Frank DeAngelis is trying to lap the whole field, and that's definitely not allowed. Jared Davis is going to be the race leader here. Looks like he's going to be coming down pit road. All right, so we got Jared Davis and Joseph Gluckness here on the front row here for this restart. Don't worry about Frank DeAngelis. He's on pit road, and yeah, he doesn't need to be the leader. But here we go with Jared Davis. And green flag, it'll be 2 laps of racing to go. Jared Davis, the big gap here over the number 18 of, the 26 of Joseph Gluckness as the battle for third rages on between Aaron Leffel and Julian Nels. This time by Jared Davis out front. 2 laps of racing to go here from Homestead. A lot of tire chatter right behind as these guys continue to fight for second. Joseph Gluckness doing a nice job holding on to that second spot right now. See if what happens here as we approach the final 2 laps. But Jared Davis has got this out by about a second. One of the outside lines, one of the first times we've seen tonight. And here he goes, about to approach the white flag. It'll be 1 lap of racing to go for Jared Davis. Take a look back for second. We've got Joseph Gluckness in the 26. Contact between Julian Nels and Aaron Leffel. Leffel's going to hang on to 3rd place for right now. Also, we have a battle for 5th with Chase Mazelewski and Zayden Cortines. But Jared Davis out in front by 1.3 seconds. He was able to get in front after a long green flag run. And coming off turn number 4, Jared Davis, our pole sitter here for today's race, is going to win here at Homestead. Jared Davis takes the checkered flag. Gluckness finishes second. We got Chase Maslewski third. Mason Jones will be fourth. And Julian Nels and Zayden Cortinez, along with Aaron Lethel, have crashed here on the final lap. And it looks like Aaron Lethel's going to get our the 5th place finish here as he creeps his way to that start-finish line. Congratulations to Jared Davis. He's going to go to victory lane for, I believe, it's his first time winning in Rebel Valley. I'll have to go back and look at stat sheet, but congratulations to Jared Davis as he gets the win here from Homestead. He's just going to bring it down to pit road. So we'll go ahead and take a look at what happened here on the last lap between the Zayden Cortinez, Aaron Lethel, and Julian Nels. So let's take a look what happened there on that last lap. All right, this was the final lap of the race. Let's take a look what happened here to the number 4 of Zayden Cortinez. Oh, Aaron Lethel contact. Oh, nowhere to go as he just got just an innocent bystander right there with the aid of Aaron Lethel. Go back one more time, see how that happened. I see the 88 Julian Nels gets into him, and that's how Nels got collected with Chase Maslewski. And yeah, just an unfortunate break right there for Zayden Cortinez. And just a weird sequence right here, just trying to figure out who was going to get 5th, and the Aaron Lethel, the number 8, who came away with that position. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our race results here from our final race of the night. That's going to appear on the screen. We got Jared Davis coming away with the win. Joseph Gluckness holds on to 2nd place. Chase Maslewski comes home 3rd, and then we got Mason Jones 4th, Aaron Lethel 5th, and then Zayden Cortinez be the last car on the lead lap in 6th. Then we've got Julian Nels, Frank DeAngelis, Austin Mitchell, David Hamrick, Tony Blake Brewer, and Keith Basham and Matthew Post. Along with Jordan Bavinger were the 14 drivers that posted a time and raced here at Homestead. So if you saw on the Discord channel, I will be taking a 2-week hiatus here for broadcasting here in Rebel Valley. I've got a real-life announcing gig starting next week, and then after that I'll be out of town, so I'll have an off week. So 2 off weeks here, and I will be back live streaming on September the 5th, which is a Friday. So congratulations to our winners tonight of Jared Davis and Mason Jones, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you for coming out. We'll see you guys later.